go.
Hello, everybody. I am Caleb. That's Jordan. Welcome back to Shenanigans. This is episode 4. Thank you to everyone who tuned in last week. We are getting more and more just viewers and downloads per week on our podcast, and that's just amazing. We want to thank you guys. We're actually starting to talk to some sponsors now, which is actually really awesome. Thanks to you guys, we're able to do this.
Super fun just to talk and do this anyway. I mean, I'm glad someone wants to help us out, People want to listen, people want to reach out to us, sponsors and any sort of opportunity. I got a buddy of mine to help out with this intro song, and I'm really loving everything we've got so far. I'm going to try and get some new art for our cover images and things on all of our accounts and YouTube, Spotify, all that. We're going to try to get some new art and things. Try to be more creative with our brand, How you been?
How have I been? I've actually been pretty good. I was gonna start the day off by working out, but then I couldn't find my shorts. And by the time I couldn't find my shorts, you were already ready to record, so I just said, fuck it, I'll just work out after the episode's recorded. It's whatever.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Caleb is nocturnal.
I work out a lot, too.
Yeah, but you sleep all day.
I don't sleep all day.
Tell them how much you weigh.
Tell
them how much you weigh now. How much you used to weigh?
I weigh like 120. I used to weigh like 210 like 2 years ago.
Bro lost like 100 pounds.
I know, it's it's 90.
I got me a new cat. She's the cutest thing. She's super mischievous. She's a calico. And she doesn't like her brother yet, but she's getting there.
Yeah,
I saw her colors, though.
Think she'll ever like them?
Oh, yeah, they're getting there. She's, like, letting him get closer and stuff, but then she goes, like, a little tiny hiss. It's just stupid. She's so moody, that's all. She did that to us the first day.
Jake Moody?
But I named her Mud. I hope not. I hope that guy misses the game winner.
Hey,
but I named her Mud.
Do you know that guy's a Wolverine?
Fuck that guy. I named the cat Mudslide because she's, like, black and brown, like, calico sliding type colors. I don't know. That was the first thing that came to my mind, and now I call her Princess Mud. And if you can hear her, she's actually clawing under the fucking door right now, trying to get to me because I'm in another room.
Damn, she's just clawing up all the paint on your door.
Yeah, we're not supposed to have pets, so that's hilarious. But, that is, I mean, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about before we get into the, what we forgot?
Yeah, I did actually. I was actually, like, I've always been kind of interested in coaching. When I was in high school, I actually approached the head coach of our football team, and I asked him if I could, be on the staff and, learn some stuff. And he told me to come see him on Monday, and then he was, sick or something, and I never got back to him, and I don't know what that could have turned into or what. So I'm looking at some, volunteer stuff, and then some stuff you could also get paid for as well, some local universities, obviously not head coach or anything or coordinator, just some I don't know, freaking the analyst or something, low level, and then work your way up.
You don't ditch me, bro. We just started this. You can't go already be the new Mike McDaniels, okay?
Hey, man.
I know you
Hey, look.
You be a personality.
Hey, Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey do their podcast just fine, and they're professional football players that have to practice every day. So
this is true.
Same thing with some NBA players. They're NBA players who do YouTube channel and have podcasts every day, so I think we'll be fine. I just want to try that. I want to see what it's all about. It seems interesting to me. It's a world I want to get into.
That's fair. I could go, maybe I should go try, I could do the rec center. I could be quarterback or a receiver or something. I could go try and play football just for fun.
Oh, yeah.
Someone told me to do that. I was I told them I like Madden, and she was like, oh man, I don't get sports games. Why don't you just go outside? And I was like, bro, it's fucking cold. And where do you think I am? I'm not in high school. I'm not in high school about to be on the team, but she said rec league, and I was like, or rec center. I'm like, man.
Yeah, you could do that. Some flag football.
I would be the next Puka.
In flag football? You think you got the hands like that and you can run the routes like that? You're going against people who've probably actually played football before in their life.
I'm going to be so unorthodox. They're not going to know what's going on. They're like, why is this guy doing 3 moves before he even runs? What is happening? I don't know. That's like fighting. If you fight some guy who just started, it's kind of hard to hit him sometimes, or you're gonna get hit more because they don't know what they're doing,
That's
and so you're
fair
so used to
because
people who do.
I don't know if the viewers know, but I have 3 years of boxing experience, and when I've boxed some of my friends who've had no experience, I've kind of had a hard time getting to them at like first for like the first like 2 minutes or so because they're just doing weird shit, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It was kind of weird, but they couldn't really do much to me though.
That makes sense. I want to jump right into the next thing. I just wanted to get over what we forgot last week because it was such a mid little thing to talk about. Really, it was uninspiring to me, but it happened and we missed it, so I might as well cover it real fast. To anyone who pays attention to the Panthers or this podcast, you might have noticed we missed Dave Canales' hiring last week. I didn't think that was the greatest. It's been such a crazy coaching cycle, and it's just not panned out the way it could have been.
And
Like,
two of
I
the
didn't even know.
top candidates are not gonna have jobs this year.
We'll get to that in a couple minutes here, but the with Dave Canales, I was just like, I didn't even know he was. I really didn't even pay attention that he was doing head coaching interviews or anything like that. Because all I heard, I think he was with Geno Smith last year in Seattle, and then he went to the Buccaneers with Baker, and he's been making these mid quarterbacks better. So maybe he can make Bryce Young take a leap to the second year, which would be great. But I just didn't think during this coaching cycle he would be the one to get a job. But it probably comes along with working with David Tepper. Someone's got to be willing to do that, and he's never been a head coach, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and some of the head coaches, I didn't think it was a big deal that we forgot this hiring because it wasn't. I don't think it's too entertaining of a thing to talk about, and also not to mention all the coaches hadn't been hired at that point in time, so I felt like we could just talk about that when we get to talking about all the hirings.
Yeah, and honestly, I was kind of hoping to cover them all as they went, just because I thought it would take longer. I don't know why I thought that. I thought it would take a couple more weeks for it to all be done. Maybe some more firings. Like, I was kind of ready for Sirianni or McCarthy to be out of there, but that didn't happen. So
Yeah, I think Mike McCarthy not being out of there was more of the surprise there. But I can kind of see it, I guess. Last year of his contract, so why not? Why pay him to leave? Why not just pay him to fucking have one last chance? I mean, he's went 12-5 the last 3 years, so why not? I guess that's his mindset. But
right.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think we're stupid. I don't think we're gonna win anything. Um, Apparently, Jerry was actually thinking of firing him and thinking of hiring Jason Witten as our head coach, which I think would be weird. I don't know if he has any head coaching or experience or if that would be good. It's like
Wasn't he
the
a player?
Colts hiring Jeff Saturday. Yeah, he was one of the best players for it. But like
He's a
I don't
tight
know
end,
how
right?
I don't yeah, but I don't know how it's gonna be, man. Like maybe like he might need some
Nah,
more experience coaching.
that's stupid. Don't ever do that. Oh, they'll be done.
Yeah, like
But did you have any more thoughts on Dave Canales?
not really. I don't really care about him. I think he won't do too good in Carolina, but they'll be better than they were this year.
Yeah, my final thought is I hope he makes Bryce better. I want him to pan out. I like him. Let's get into the playoff recap here, man. Like, the games are crazy. Which one do you want to do first? The Chiefs Ravens, or do you want to do Niners Lions?
I want to do Chiefs Ravens first.
Jesus Christ!
That
You
one was
you
just
you
sad.
you start. You start, because I got things to say about fucking their offense.
That was just sad to watch. It was just very sad to watch that entire game. The Ravens' offense just looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Like you said, their play calling was bad. A lot of the players didn't execute as well. It was like bad on both points. They didn't run while having the best rushing offense. That's so stupid on the play calling part. Um, Zay Flowers, like dropping the ball, like he simultaneously made that run great and then turned the ball over and shit. He was like consistent. He was like not consistent at all on that drive. He was shit, then he was awesome. Then he was awesome, then he was shit. Then he was awesome, and then shit. And then he just fucking fumbled the ball. Like,
When that fumble happened, man, oh, I knew it was over. It was so
the
sad. I'm
Ravens
not
just
even a
can't get
Ravens fan.
shit done. Like,
Yeah, I
their
felt bad.
offense can't. Their defense wasn't playing at first, but then they stepped it up and their offense couldn't do shit. But I'm not gonna act like their defense was just like wasn't just getting kind of exposed for like the first like quarter and a half.
Yeah, I
Like it
mean,
really felt like the Chiefs were up more in that game. Like that game felt like so much larger of a win for the Chiefs than it actually was.
Patrick Mahomes said that he kind of, coasted after a while because he realized that his defense had the game and he just had to be safe with the ball and stuff, which is risky because he didn't score again for the
That's
last
fair,
half.
but they made the Super Bowl, so I assume they're gonna be super aggressive now.
What did you think about Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey messing with Justin Tucker in the beginning?
I thought it was kind of a dick move because I don't really like the Chiefs. I don't like either of these teams in the Super Bowl, man. So it's kind of hard, but I've seen them talk about it on another podcast. I think Pat McAfee was like, "Oh, Justin Tucker's gonna kick your ass, dude," and they started laughing about it. So it seems like they're pretty cool about it. Like, obviously, they're just players. They're just fucking around. It was some friendly. If it was really anything, Justin Tucker would have actually got up and like got mad.
If it was anybody but a kicker, like if it was a corner or if it was like fucking
Any player
Lamar,
with
they wouldn't
CTE
have cared.
potential.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Tucker, well, everyone likes Justin Tucker. I don't think anyone hates him, so it's.
Fair.
But Travis Kelsey said that was Justin being a dick or something. I don't get how, but
I
some people see it different ways, I guess. Lamar threw the ball 39 times when they were never down by more than like a score.
like I said,
Stupid, yeah. That's again, and during the whole game, I was blaming the offensive play caller. Like it was, what was it like, 2nd and 1 on their second drive, and they threw it to Zay Flowers behind the line of scrimmage, and he didn't catch it, and then they threw it deep again on 3rd and 1. I was saying it the whole time. They should have ran it. They should have ran that there. They should have ran it here. I mean, they should have been running it the whole game, but they should have ran it in the obvious, like fucking 1 yard down situations. That was so annoying.
it was just an annoying game to watch, especially as someone rooting for the Ravens.
I don't have anything else to say about that except Lamar holding his MVP trophy is gonna suck. Standing there while he's not in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's gonna make that face everyone's been memeing about.
Do you have any more thoughts on the Ravens Chiefs game?
Not really. Um, I had all I had to say about that game. Let's go on to the Lions Niners game. I have something to say about that game, man. That game was crazy. That game, like, it just looked like the Lions were just gonna go ahead and just take it and leave in the first half, 24-7. Like, I knew it wasn't over because it's the NFL and anything can happen, especially with a team like the 49ers. Um, they can get stuff done, even though they haven't been too good from behind this season. They're still the number 1 seed for a reason, so I'm not really too surprised at their comeback. But the Lions play calling, like, after the
Not
second
surprised,
half, not
motherfuckers.
targeting Amon-Ra St. Brown, a lot of stuff, man, just happened that game. It was just some bad play calling after the second half, and then not going for that field goal, which also fucked me on one of my bets. So thank you, Dan Campbell. You fucked your
Man, the
team
field goal.
twice this year, once against the Cowboys and once on a fucking trip to the Super Bowl. Like, you cost yourselves. But you're retaining your staff most likely, so you have another shot at it next year and maybe add on. So who knows? But teams who make the AFC or NFC Championship game and are like, "Oh, we'll be back next time," and they usually don't. So Lions, this might have been your best shot, but who knows? Who knows?
I think the Lions are gonna trade Jared Goff to the Patriots, and they're gonna get a new quarterback. That'd be funny. But no. I think that only came to my mind because you said something about keeping the coordinators and going back. And I'm like, it's Jared Goff. Jared Goff going to be the one to like elevate because you saw Brock Purdy in this game, as fraudulent as he is. he was running. He was running his ass off. Jared Goff's not getting pick up. He's not picking up 51 yards or whatever rushing that he did. Uh,
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
was annoying. That was so annoying to see because it's just like they didn't even know where he was at half the time. As far as the comeback from the Niners, yeah, good fucking job. Thank God that Lions defender didn't catch that interception on the deep ball, and it just happened to bounce into Ayuk's hands. That was the luckiest, most
I mean,
fraudulent Niners
hey,
Brock Purdy shit I've ever
dude,
seen.
Ayuk admitted it was luck though. Did you see that? He said I got ladybug luck on my shoe or something before the game.
Yeah, I like Ayuk. Out of all the Niners, Ayuk is the only one I like. I think.
That's fair.
Um, but because he's really good. I would love Ayuk somewhere else. I would love that whole team to just disband and go other places.
Dude, Ayuk is
You know,
really
never be good.
fucking good. Look at how much like yards he gets per reception, and he gets like the least receptions. He's had does he have over 1,000 yards with like the least receptions or some shit? That's crazy.
I think so. He is not that many. He's like the last in like targeting or something like that too for 1,000. Uh,
Yeah, like that's insane. They need to target him more because he's clearly good. But I kind of understand
well,
it using him as the
he
weapon
can't
like
aim.
that, using him as
He
the
can't
deep
throw that
shot.
far. He can't throw that far. He's got to throw to Debo, who's fucking 3 yards upfield or 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, where he's a running back.
Debo,
He
you're
can't throw
running
that
back.
far.
You're running back, Debo. That's what someone was saying to him. I forgot who. Oh yeah, someone who's
He
not in the playoffs anymore. I fucking hate that guy.
sounds like some Micah Parsons shit to say.
Fair. It's fair.
Uh, I can't remember which Reynolds sold this game, but he had multiple drops. I think it was number 8 on the Lions. I think it was Josh Reynolds
Yeah,
on that
Reynolds.
fourth down, like 4th and 8. They threw it to him or something like that. Hit him right in the chest. He just choked it. Jameer Gibbs fumbled as well. Everything went the Niners' way, and Dan Campbell's stupid Madden philosophy of playing real football didn't pay off. I mean, it could have if he kicked like 2 more field goals or something like that. Like, I don't know. I think a player coach is going to be like that a lot, honestly. Like, let's wait to see how Gerard Mayo plays.
Man, I think he'll be more calm and collected. I think he's been with the Patriots too long and Bill Belichick's staff too long.
Getting to the Super Bowl.
I was about to say, you want to talk about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, to that. But, like, this is obviously the matchup nobody wanted. But go Chiefs, man. Fuck these Niners. I don't want to see a ring on their hands until I'm dead. I mean, obviously I wouldn't see it if I'm dead. I don't want to see one in my lifetime. I would love to see them lose some more NFC Championship games. I don't, go
At
Chiefs, man.
at this point, I don't care about the Cowboys getting surpassed in rings anymore for real. I really don't like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and I really I like Andy Reid. If they won, I'd be happy for Andy Reid, but I really don't like Patrick Mahomes. I don't like the Chiefs. I don't like Travis Kelsey. Like I'm just I so I'm going against the Niners, even though I don't really like them either. They have 3 Wolverines on their team compared to the Chiefs' 1 Wolverine. So go Niners, man. That sucks to say, but I'm going with the Niners. I don't want to see a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. That'd be boring. I don't want to see the
Ugh,
dynasty happen. I'm sorry. I gotta go with the
you're
Niners.
disgusting.
I'm sorry.
You're gross. They're awful. You want to see the last pick in the draft, the most fraudulent player in the league, like Daniel Jones if he was smaller. You want to see that win a Super Bowl?
Yep.
I'm sick of him. I want this. I want Brock Purdy. I want this story to move on. I want him to lose this Super Bowl. Then he sucks next year. Then they move on to Sam Darnold or something. I have no idea. But this, it's just like I can root for this Chiefs team because I love their defense. I have all year. I have since last year, and it's just got better. Like they took L'Jarius Sneed off the Niners, and they cleansed him in the holy bath of Super Bowl champion, you a locker room. And now he's a Chief, and I like him, and he's great. And he's with Trent McDuffie, and this is the L'Jarius Sneed revenge game. That's right. Nobody was thinking about that, huh? This is his revenge game. He's going to win the Super Bowl on his old team. He's going to intercept them. That would be amazing.
He could. Brock Purdy could throw a pick. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to throw a pick at all. I don't think he's thrown a pick in the playoffs.
He's elite, and I don't think. I really don't. I really think he's going to make their defense look terrible again. Like, was it this year or last year that he did that? I think it was both, but I can't. I think he did it this year too. Did he
Uh,
dice them up this year? No, because last year he diced them up, and then they went and traded for CMC. That's right.
I remember that. They
Yeah,
were like 4-4 or 4-5, and they got demolished.
it's pretty much the same Niners defense plus some D line guys and a rookie corner, Demador Lenore. Deamador Lenore, I think he'll dice them up again. I don't think they'll need a jet wasp, whatever. I just think uh, with Tyreek out, I think they're for some reason their offense has been more spread out, and like Rasheed can do screens.
For some reason.
Pacheco's a runner. Travis Kelce woke the hell up. You know, I just think he can dice them up with what he's got, and I think that Chiefs defense is really really good. Two corners. That D line is great.
That's fair. I
They don't
just said
have
I wanted the
Ben
Niners to win. I didn't say I think they're going to win.
I mean,
Because
you don't have to.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. That's my prediction. I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think it'll be by a lot. I think it'll be a good close Super Bowl like Super Bowl 54 was, but I think they'll end up winning again. And I think the Gatorade is going to be orange for people who's betting on the Gatorade.
uh,
Because I think they're going to play everything how they did last time in the Super Bowl. They chose the red jerseys last time. They chose them this time. They had purple Gatorade last year, but this time they're playing the Niners again. They had orange Gatorade when they played the Niners. They're going to get orange Gatorade again. Everyone's going to go off like they have been. Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to make the dynasty happen. They're going to win 3 rings in a span of 6 years or some shit. Woohoo! I'll be so mad, but it'll be whatever. I think the
I won't
Niners
be
can
mad.
do it, but I really think the Chiefs are just going to get it and just make everyone just be sad.
I think the Gatorade will be purple because I think that's the color of Taylor Swift's dress in her newest tour or something, and
Oh,
that's like the
Lord.
Chiefs' whole thing. That's their whole thing now is Taylor Swift.
Man. I think another third dark horse candidate is probably the blue Gatorade, just because that's the best
yeah.
tasting Gatorade, and
The dark horse Gatorade.
that's the best tasting Gatorade. So they could be like, fuck this shit, fuck the superstition, fuck Taylor Swift. I just want the best tasting Gatorade. Let's get some blue Gatorade.
I remembered what I was going to say now. So Tom Brady, I said this to you in the DMs a couple days ago, but Tom Brady's beat us twice, the Rams, in 2 Super Bowls. That sucks. And so Mahomes is supposed to be the new Brady. He's already beat the Niners in 1 Super Bowl. Fucking do it again. Like, if the Rams had to deal with that, why can't the Niners?
I
don't
can already
understand why
tell
not.
you what I think about that. I can already tell you.
Yeah,
Mahomes
he's not the
isn't
GOAT because he would be the GOAT by now. And blah, 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 blah.
Yes, he would be
Go
the
ahead,
GOAT
tell him.
by now. I'm gonna tell everybody
Go
right
ahead.
now. Everybody on air, I want you to hear this right now. Alright, so Mahomes' first year starting, he went against Brady in the AFC Championship game. Yes, you can talk about the overtime, but what about the first quarter? What about the first half, man? 0-14? That's where he was sucking. He didn't show up until the second half. Like, come on, man. He could have led his team to the Super Bowl there. And with how bad the Rams played, I know the Chiefs' defense wasn't all that back then, but I think the Chiefs would have probably beat them, even though the Rams beat them by 3 points in that
How
crazy
fucking
54
dare
to
you?
51 game. I think the
Take
Chiefs
it
could
back.
have. That would have been his first ring. That's a ring taken away from Brady. And then next year he actually won it, so that's his second. And then 54 or 55, he lost to Brady. His O-line was hurt. But honestly, I still think that was a winnable Super Bowl. He still could have won that Super Bowl. His guys could have made his catches. That one wasn't more on Mahomes. It was more on other factors. But there are some stupid plays, even though he did his best.
I'll tell you what.
He was the only
The
thing
only
impressive
reason
about the Chiefs. So that would have been a third. And then number 4, let's see. Oh, yeah, he could have beaten the Bengals. He could have showed up in the second half there and not let the comeback happen. He could have showed the fuck up.
he would have lost what?
All credit to the Bengals defense, but then boom, number 4, he could have beaten y'all's Rams team. I think I don't care.
Nope.
He
Nope.
could have beaten
Not
y'all.
possible.
He could have beaten
Nope.
y'all. Their defense was
He
good at that
admitted
point in time.
he admitted himself that Jalen Ramsey is the scariest defensive player he ever played against.
Then
Just
don't
saying, we had him
then
there.
don't throw to Jalen Ramsey's side. So there's ring number 4, and then yep, ring number 5 would be the one that he won last year. He'd be playing for ring number 6 to surpass Brady because he'd have taken 2 away from him if he could have just beat Brady twice in the play. That's crazy. If you think about it, that's crazy. He could have already tied Brady. He would have already been the GOAT if he was the GOAT. Remember, Brady is the GOAT.
Yeah, just can't wait for some rookie QB to come in and win
Unless
8 straight Super
Mahomes,
Bowls.
unless Mahomes passes the 7 rings, passes the 5 MVPs, passes the fucking 10 Super Bowl appearances, unless he passes like, and at least unless he does 2 of those and breaks some records, he's not the GOAT.
Well, I don't have any more thoughts on the Super Bowl matchup. It's the worst of it can be, but go Chiefs. Did you have anything else before I move on to my next thing real quick?
No.
All right, so I did want to make you a bet about this game, actually. I only want to make you a bet for $20 because, I mean, I'm not rolling in dough or anything, but it could make the game more interesting. I just want to bet $20 on one George Karlaftis sack. I want him to get his sack, at least one, and I think he will get one.
Do half
Are you
sacks count? Or does
half
it have to?
sacks?
Or
No,
does it
one
have?
sack.
Oh, it has to be the full sack. Okay.
I don't get half sacks. I really don't understand that. It's like an assisted tackle.
Yeah, pretty much. So okay,
One sack for George Karlaftis for $20.
I feel like that's not. I feel like that's easy. Like I feel like Karloftis can easily do that, especially against the
Yeah, he
Niners
could, but he
line.
could also easily not get the sack because Purdy gets it out in time, and it could be Chris Jones or something.
Fair.
There's 3 other D
Purdy can get
linemen.
the ball out quicker than Lamar, so I don't know.
Yeah, because he has CMC and Debo.
I know. I'm just saying. So let's see.
Get Lamar, take one.
I don't know. I don't know
Well,
if I'd take that because I kind of think he's gonna get a sack.
are you a coward?
Kind of. I think he's gonna get a sack.
Oh
Why
my
would I bet
god.
on it?
Oh my god. What should I bet on then? A Legarius Sneed interception? No, I don't believe in that. That's not my guy. George Karlaftis is my dude. What do you want me to do? Force fumble? Maybe get George Karlaftis? No, that's too much. You're a coward, Caleb.
Hey, I take easy bets. That's how I win.
Caleb pisses his pants at real human bets. He likes to bet with apps.
I make money that way.
The next subject we had up is all the coaching now that it's wrapped up for the most part, the head coaches at least. The Commanders, let's start there. I mean, they just got Dan Quinn. I was very underwhelmed by that. I thought, everyone thought they were getting Ben Johnson, and then he wants to stay in Detroit because apparently he was asking for a whole lot of money. Daniel Jones is a coach type money, apparently. So he is no longer there, and Dan Quinn is gone. Y'all need a new DC. What do you think about that hire?
Yeah. I don't know for real. I'll get more into that later, but Al Harris, I heard, is one of the top candidates, which is our
For your
he's our
DC?
DB coach.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
for
cool.
he's one of the top candidates for to replace Dan Quinn, but I'm not really surprised at that hire for real. I'm not surprised he left. I kind of am. I kind of thought he'd just run it back one more year, but I guess
Me
he's ready
too.
to give it a shot at head coach again. Maybe he's ready to transform Washington's defense back, but he's a head coach this time now, remember. The Atlanta Falcons defense with him was not that good. Their offense was, though. Their offense was. Maybe McLaurin's good. Maybe he hires some better staff down there. I don't know.
McLaurin is good. Love that guy.
Maybe he gets some
But
better
I don't
play.
think
I don't know how that's going to turn out. Maybe Dan Quinn's their problem solver. I don't know. I don't really think so, but good luck to him.
the only thing I hope he can accomplish in Washington is let's hope he can make Emmanuel Forbes better somehow. I like that guy. I feel bad that he got drafted so high and had so much expectations when it should have been Christian Gonzalez. Let's think. What are some other? I mean, the Seahawks just hired Mike
Mike
McDonald.
McDonald.
That's okay, I guess.
Let's go. I'm happy
They
for you, Mike McDonald. Former Wolverine, you were
oh my
good.
god,
You were good your 1 year there. Good your 1 year as
you
our D coordinator.
you should be Wolverine for Halloween. Oh, that's fucking
That'd be
Wolverine.
funny, dude. Oh my god,
His colors are Michigan colors.
it'd be funny to be a Wolverine for Halloween.
Wolverine's comic book colors are the same as your fucking college book or your college Wolverine colors. That's crazy. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I could. I could do
Maybe
that.
Wolverine went to Michigan.
Maybe he did.
But
But yeah, Mike McDonald, the
okay.
a defensive genius, so called. Maybe he'll turn up that defense, who already have some nice pieces on it. Maybe he'll hire a
They're
better
different,
coordinator.
very different defense to me. I mean, they have great corners. Where the Ravens have Marlon Humphrey and some okay corners, but they have a crazy D line and linebackers. And I mean, they have okay linebackers in Seattle, but the D line is really lacking there. You know, they got like Puna Ford and Leonard Williams.
Yeah, that's fair, but there's always room to build, man. There's free agency, there's trades, there's the draft. You know, they're probably gonna build up more. I imagine.
Actually, I take it
Mike
back.
McDonald's probably gonna get a chance to build that team. I think it'll be good. But I think it's funny because now Pete Carroll's still an advisor for the Seahawks. I think it's funny. Mike McDonald said, "Man, fuck working for the Harbaughs, bro. I can't win shit with them. I'm gonna go to the fucking Jim Harbaugh's rival, Pete Carroll. Let's go to his team."
I take back what I just said because the Ravens D line is weird. Like, just it's Matabike and like I can't even name who else is on that D line, but they have so many
Matabike
sacks.
is underrated to me.
Who else do they have there? Campbell's gone. Calais Campbell's a Falcon. I don't even know who else is on that
Calais
D line
Campbell's
except
like
Matabike.
40. I know he's still good, but he's like 40.
Is Ogunjobi a name on the Ravens or that the Colts? I don't remember. See, I take it back because I can't even remember the Ravens D line people, their names or anything, but they still were crazy this year. So maybe he can just change this whole defense crazily overnight. But
Yep.
you know, they're probably going to need a rookie quarterback here soon,
I
and it's
agree.
just going to be
They'll need
like,
a new
is this the
quarterback.
guy? Is this the guy? That's the question when you get defensive guys.
At least they're set on some skill players in their running backs and their receivers.
Yeah, it's just like that's always the question with rookie quarterbacks and defensive coaches. Like Robert Sala could not like awaken Zach Wilson or into anything, but D'Amico Ryan's, you know, he's CJ Stroud's coach, and Stroud just put up probably rookie of the year campaign, you know, and it's just like you can never tell. And Sean McDermott appeared to be working with Josh Allen, and then it appeared to be Brian Dable after he left, you know. So
That's true.
it's just coaching with quarterback needs and stuff like that is gonna be weird. Brandon Staley with Herbert. I mean, Herbert did his thing,
Josh Allen
but
is still
Staley
a
did nothing.
talented quarterback, though.
Yeah, but what he wasn't good when he started. He needed Dable, which I don't blame anybody. Like some people need coaching like that. Like
I mean, yeah, you think Patrick Mahomes would have been what he was if he fucking went to the Bears?
no,
He
not at all.
definitely fucking went to the best situation possible in the Chiefs.
Which is great, and I wish that happened to every quarterback, but it doesn't. I'm a big believer in Zach Wilson, and that's like another example for me is like the defensive coordinator rookie thing. He might be a Ram soon, which would be great. McVay just makes them elite. That'd be great. But what's another coaching hire we need to talk
Raheem
about?
Morris to the Falcons.
Oh,
You're a
oh,
Rams guy. You need to talk
yes,
about your guy going to the Falcons.
he's ass.
I
I
was
have
about to say,
hated this
give
dude.
Falcons fans some hope, but you're not.
I have hated this dude. Like every time where it's like a third and long situation, he'll put all the DBs who suck right up at the line of scrimmage to just get beat. Like when we played the Lions, oh my god, go watch some of the formations we had when it was like must-have stops. Amon Ra, like in press, it's just easy for him. He just went right past our guys. We don't have corners. He's supposed to be a secondary coach, and we don't have corners, and our secondary sucks, and our D line's good, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, look at Raheem Morris like awakening Kobe Turner and Byron Young." Like, no, those are just good players. We have good players on our defense, and then like most of them are rookies, and so the defense is better this year with all these rookies who are just good, and everyone is like, "Oh my God, Raheem Morris is a fucking defensive genius." He is not. He puts Darian Kendrick on the field, number one. He on the Rams, cornerback, just like the worst player on our team. I hate him, and he continues to put that guy out there instead of like Tre'Davious Hodges Tomlinson or something like that. But like, what's he gonna do now? I mean, they have good corners there. They have AJ Terrell and they have Jesse Bates. So they're gonna have a good defense again. And he just because they have good fucking players, and he's gonna get like, oh wow, look, he's a great coach. See, they did great. But their offense is probably not gonna be any better. You
It's
know,
fair. It's going to be the
uh,
opposite of what Dan Quinn did. He's going to go from being a defensive coach and inherit a crazy fucking offense with no defense on the team and then get fired. Except Raheem Morris is probably going to get fired quicker.
he was already the coach for the Falcons before as an interim, and he was not good. But the Falcons, out of every coaching,
I
out of
remember
every
that he was their defensive coordinator at one point too, and they weren't really that good.
yeah, he's ass. But the Falcons fumbled the hardest out of any team who needed a coach this offseason, as far as I give a shit. They had Belichick and Vrabel wanting to be there, and Jim Harbaugh. They had all of those guys wanting to work there, and they got Raheem Morris, Vrabel. Dude, Vrabel with Bijan.
That is such a Falcons thing to do, though.
Yeah, unfortunate. Like the Vrabel to the Falcons could have been legendary. Like if he can make Tannehill worth a shit after he wasn't worth a shit anymore, maybe he could do something with Ritter until they could get a quarterback. And Bijan, they just run Bijan in a better scheme, like for running. He worked with Derrick Henry. Imagine Bijan doing that shit Derrick Henry does at the goal line, where he pops up and throws a touchdown to the fucking tight end. I love when Derrick Henry does that.
He did that against the Ravens in the playoffs when they went 14-2.
I love that so much. It's like my favorite play call in the NBA, the NFL.
The NBA.
Put Derrick Henry in the NBA and see what happens. That's what people always talk about, like football players that could go to the league or NBA, and I'm like, that's usually a dumb conversation. But now I'm thinking about it, Derrick Henry maybe. You know?
Mo Ali Cox played college basketball.
That guy. There's another. It's not Mo Ali Cox, but there's a Colts tight end that is really good, and he's young, and I forget his name. That sucks. Matt Ryan threw a touchdown to him in the in that one time that
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I forget as well.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, and I feel so bad, and I love that guy. You know, I'm looking it up real quick. Jelani Woods. Yeah, number 80. I like that guy. I watched Matt Ryan throw a dime to him versus the Chiefs. That time last year, I think it was last year that they beat the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that random ass regular season game that they should not have won, but they did because of so many errors.
I had a feeling they were gonna win that too.
Me too. I should have bet my life on it. That's what I say to everybody about that goddamn game. I was like, I knew that they were gonna win that somehow, but I would have sounded crazy. So I'm just like, anyway, we're getting way off topic. Are there any more coaching jobs that we need to talk about?
Yes, Dave Canales to the Panthers a little bit. If you want to say any more about that.
Go Bryce. Oh, Bryce, baby. He just looks so happy to be there when he's playing football sometimes, unless it's like week 17. He looked pretty mad at that point, but like for the first half of the season, he looked so happy to be playing football, even though he was losing. You know, he did beat C.J. Stroud, so that does confirm he's a better pick.
The Titans signed Brian Callahan.
Oh my God! Right, that is the most mid. Oh my God, I forgot about that because that's just the most ass hire. Like. He didn't even call plays. Joe fucking Burrow, who's 6'4", with all the best receivers in the league, and he fucking now he's got Will Levis and probably not even DeAndre Hopkins. Will Levis, Treylon Burks, and Tajay Spears. Good luck, dude. You know what I mean? If I didn't respect Levis and Tajay Spears, I'd say that's like top 3 pick in next year's draft. The Titans.
You could be right, honestly.
Like they should be ass, in my opinion.
But I agree with you. They should be ass.
I hope they trade Jeffrey Simmons too, because he doesn't deserve to be there in this state. Like he needs to go to some contender.
Vrabel's the only reason they went 6-10 this year, or not? Or 6-11.
Oh yeah.
I forget about the extra game sometimes.
Caleb hates the extra game. I don't even care about this dude. See, it's just like that. That's not even the Bengals coordinator that I expected to be fucking getting hired this year. So I'm like, I thought Lou Anarumo was going to be getting the hiring jobs, but he didn't even interview anywhere. He just decided I'm staying here, even though my defense has been beloved for like 3 years. and I've been getting head coach talks for a while, but nothing. Okay, weird. Uh,
Right.
oh, I mean Jim Harbaugh. We talked about Jim Harbaugh, right?
We did. We talked about Jim Harbaugh, Gerard Mayo, and Antonio Pierce in previous episodes.
We didn't talk about Pierce really, but I'm happy for him because Max Crosby loves him.
I mean, I guess we didn't really go over him that much, but there wasn't really much to go over. We saw what he's done so far. He turned that defense around. He's a defensive player, so it kind of makes sense. I look forward to that defense, to watching them play next year. It's going to be impressive. I think it's weird how they turned around from an offensive team to a defensive team, but we'll see what they do with their offense.
With McDaniels, did
McDaniel's gone.
McDaniels, yeah, with Josh McDaniels gone, when he was there, like, what were they even throwing it to Devontae? I swear he was like doing the best he could because of his abilities, but like I remember being frustrated almost that he wasn't getting the ball for a while just because of McDaniels' strategy or whatever. Like everyone hated. Devontae came out and said that it was the most complicated playbook he'd ever seen and stuff. So
Josh Jacobs had the worst
that
year of
must have
his
been annoying.
life, and it wasn't even his fucking fault.
Oh, I mean, he had the best year of his life last year.
I know.
I don't have any more thoughts on any coaching hirings, unless I can't. We've had what we forget every fucking week, so I'll probably have something next week in what we forgot.
Probably, but I don't think we forgot anything. We can move on if you want.
Hell yeah, I'm interested in hearing your top 5 running backs. This is just a little list I wanted to put together for fun. We're gonna do our top 5 running backs in the league, just starting at number 5. This is our opinions for the most part, but my list, I like my list.
You go
Do
ahead
you
and.
want to start at number? Oh, I can. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted you to start off with this one.
At number 5, I have Breece Hall. I think he is one of the most explosive young running backs in the league, and I think he's like their whole offense almost. So he's one of the best receiving threats, and he's their one of the top rushing threats in the league. If he had a way better line, if he had like some better quarterback to maybe take some of the pressure off him, he'd make even bigger plays than he already does. I think Breece Hall is super explosive, and it sucks that he didn't get the workload a little bit earlier in the year too, with Dalvin Cook being there, and it sucks he got hurt last year. But I'm glad he's back. He didn't even get comeback player of the year talks, which really sucks because he totally should have.
I'm gonna say David Montgomery.
Oh my goodness.
Call me crazy for having him top 5, but I just think he's very consistent. He's a touchdown getter. He doesn't turn the ball over that much. He's good, man. Like
David Montgomery.
He's not no 1,000-yard rusher, but he's a dependable guy.
That's crazy to me because I was having a battle over Jahmyr Gibbs and Breece Hall, and here you are with David Montgomery, who I wasn't even thinking about, to be honest.
I can't say I don't take rookies into account yet, and I'm just doing it from this year's perspective, honestly.
Yeah, it's a miracle that switching from your 2-back strategy with Swift and Williams to another 2-back strategy with Montgomery and Gibbs worked. Like, I thought the David Montgomery thing would work, but then as soon as they drafted Gibbs, I'm like, how are they going to split the load? But it worked. I wouldn't put him top 5, but I'm not that mad at it. I'm a little shocked.
I would just for this season. I'm just basing it off the season.
That's fair. At the number 4 spot for me, I put my boy Kyron Williams. I think he would have led the league in rushing yards, and like everything, like receiving for running backs. I think he could have led him for every category almost if he didn't get hurt for 5 games. Or 4 games he was hurt, but he missed week 18 as well. So, McCaffrey week missed 18 as well, but
I also agree with Kyron Williams at my number 4.
Some Rams respect. That's what I like to hear. I loved when we drafted this guy because I hated Cam Akers. Like, I love Darrell Henderson in our Super Bowl year, and then Cam Akers comes back for the playoffs, sucks, doesn't do anything but knock out Budda Baker, and then we draft Kyron Williams, and he doesn't play because he's hurt, and we have Cam Akers, and so our year sucks. But he broke out of nowhere this year. I didn't expect all this. I was happy when we got him and everything, but I did not expect this. So him at the number 4, I think, is deserving.
My number three
Uh,
is gonna be Raheem Mostert, who had a very
my God.
explosive year.
See, I would have put Raheem at 5 like that if I was going off like how your list was, like where I would have put him where Montgomery was. I think it was way better than Montgomery, but not better than Kyron. I mean, this year, I guess it makes sense.
I guess Montgomery did miss a few more games than Raheem Mostert did, but Raheem Mostert was just really explosive this year, and he really thrived in that offense in the regular season. I know they didn't do much in the playoffs against the Chiefs, but man, Raheem was just in the regular season he was a threat.
The thing about like these
18
two,
touchdowns on the season and over 1,000 yards in scrimmage.
he did great. I mean, I like Raheem Mostert. I drafted him in fantasy last year, and he didn't do anything. And then this year, he's been fantasy god with those split backs like that, like with the Steelers or the Dolphins or the Lions. It's like they're doing great, Montgomery and Mostert. But like, if you gave A Chain the full load, or if you gave Gibbs the full load instead of splitting them, like, yes, they may get tired or injured more, but also they may make bigger plays just because they have the chance, you know?
So you're
I
basing
just
it
think
off of potential, and I'm basing it off of what happened.
I mean, yeah, I guess ability and everything, because for me, my number 3 is Nick Chubb still. I think he's still one of the top backs in the league.
mm.
I'm not even worried about his injury, to be honest, because like I just think he's built in
I
a
think he'll
way
come back
that
from his injury as well, but I didn't have him on this list. I almost had
he
Isaiah
is.
Pacheco at my number 5, honestly.
That's a fair statement for the year, but yeah, I'm just kind of going like I kind of mixed it up a little bit. Like the year, like for Brees Hall, definitely the year snuck him into the 5 for me, and someone else here I would have put a little lower if they didn't have such a great year, but. Yeah, for number 3, I think Nick Chubb. He didn't have a great year, but he was having a Nick Chubb year, and he's super consistent, even though he's older. So I think he'll still come back from his injury and still be good, hopefully as well. But yeah, I get the whole he didn't play this year part, but I still think he's a top 5 back and he's respectable. Like I got to put him up there.
At my number 2, I have Derrick Henry.
Oh,
I understand he kind of had a little bit of an off year. He didn't eclipse the 1,000-yard rushing mark. He did have over 1,000 yards on the season combined, and he did have that touchdown he threw. Just with that horrible offensive line, man, I thought it was still impressive what he was able to do. Derrick Henry is still the man. He was out for a few games, but he's still the guy. I think wherever he goes, if he leaves, he probably will. Wherever he goes, I think he'll still be good. I think he's one of those running backs who will actually last. He's one of those rare running backs who's built to last.
I definitely respect Mr. Derrick Henry there. So much so that I have at my number 2, Christian McCaffrey.
Damn.
I think Christian McCaffrey I think he's great, but, I think he's in a great situation for him right now. And that's just not the case with Derrick Henry, who's obviously at my 1. I think CMC's playmaking and like being able to line him up at receiver is great. He's a small little white guy. He probably should have been playing receiver anyway, and he's just great to be put in the backfield. Honestly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's great for what he is, and it's impressive to me because I like to say that the white guys, the more vanilla of the guys, it's a little more impressive when they do it because they're not that great. You know what I mean? But he's just like in a perfect situation. And you saw when he was in Carolina, he was still great. Obviously, he was injured though because carrying that workload is crazy for him. But Derrick Henry, at the number 1 spot, did not. He got injured one real serious time, but his team still went to the 1 seed without him. Like. That's crazy to me. And then he's just gone for 1,000 every year. Yeah, he's insane. His longevity, his ability.
Dude, he's gone for 2,000 twice, I think. Or 3 times, maybe.
CMC needs to be a receiver to do that. You know what I mean? He gets hurt. His legs, he's not built like a fucking tight end or like DK Metcalf's big brother. You know, like Derrick Henry's just built crazy. His longevity is insane. His ability is insane. Like you put him, I'm trying to think where you could put. If you put him on the Rams, like with that, just line him so far backwards like they did on the Titans. So you just run backwards and he gets like a full, almost 10 yards of running before he's even hits the line. It's just like that would be crazy. And with the play action game, you put him somewhere crazy like that, you're getting a ring. I mean, God forbid he does get hurt again because he's big. So like when he did get hurt, he was out for a while, and he's a big guy. So, but that just hasn't been the case. I thought he was going to get hurt again the year after he came back from the that ankle injury, but he didn't, and he just, you know.
Going into my number one here, I have Christian McCaffrey at number one. I happen to think the ability to catch out of the backfield and just line up as a receiver as well in general and do that, just do the whole bulk of it, I think that is impressive, and I think that's great for a running back to be able to do. I think that adds more value to him. I know he's people give him the injury prone label, but it was honestly just those 2 years. Other than those 2 years, he's been the Incredible Hulk, and he's taken the load like he's actually handled it fine. I wonder why. Like, I don't know why, but he's not really that injury prone as people say he is. And I know he is on a really good system, on the perfect system and whatnot, but he's the focal point of that offense, and he's the reason why they're succeeding. So that is why Christian McCaffrey is my number one.
I mean, you put fucking Justin Jefferson and goddamn Travis Kelce on the same offense as Derrick Henry, you're going to get the same thing. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry's going to go crazy. Probably in the receiving game also.
I mean, fair, but what about when Christian McCaffrey was on the Panthers? He had 2,000 scrimmage yards on the Panthers.
It's the same thing with fucking Derrick Henry on the Titans. Like, he did the same thing he's carrying. I bet you, I'm saying if you put Derrick Henry in a perfect situation where he's like the third thing you have to look at, and it's like there's two receivers up there also, you know, you don't have to worry about it. Like what receivers do they have?
I think everybody is looking at CMC first, considering like people think their quarterback is a system quarterback and shit like that. So
true.
That, and he's the number one rusher this year. And then Christian McCaffrey can also line up at receiver, so you're also looking at him for receiving too.
Who's another receiver you could put at running back like Debo though? Like that system's ridiculous. You could literally put McCaffrey at receiver and Debo at running back, and they're like, oh, in the formation, you know, they're so confused. If you put Derrick Henry,
they could switch it up like that. Oh my gosh, that should be like a bet on the Super Bowl.
That's
What's
the
odds
Super
on
Bowl,
that
like,
on a play? That if
special.
they win the Super Bowl, that's gonna be their Super Bowl winning play. It's gonna be their staple play, like Jet Chip Wasp and the Philly special. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, I mean not hell yeah. Bad yeah. Okay, yeah. I respect Henry so much, man. I want to see him on a ring on a super team. Like, really, damn. Who could they? The Chargers? Could he go to the Chargers? You think?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if they have. I don't know if they have money for him like that, but
that's a good point. But yeah, I just want to see him somewhere great. A spot right now is going past my mind. But if you're ready to move on, I am. I'm excited for this next segment.
Yes, me too.
So we wanted to take a step back and switch up sports here for a minute. Caleb is a big NBA fan. I'm a pretty big casual. You know, I'm trying to get into it. I've been keeping track of it for like 3 years since the Bucks won the championship. Like, I've been paying attention since then. But for me, it's hard to watch the games. Like, I'll tune into the first quarter and the fourth quarter just to like see what they're playing like and what the end is going to be to some games. But I don't know, something about sitting there watching a whole 4-quarter game or like a hockey game all the way through is just hard for me. But today we're doing NBA trivia questions. I got 10 questions here for Caleb.
All right.
He's going to see how many he can get it right.
See, they can test my NBA knowledge here.
All right, so starting off with the first question, we talked a little bit about some of these questions earlier, and this one he said would seem a little difficult for him, so we're going to start with this one. Who is the all-time block leader? I've got 3 options here for you. I'm just going to read them off, and you let me know which one you think it is.
Okay.
So for all-time blocks leader,
I can tell you off the top of my head. Let me tell you off the top of my head who I think it is now.
Okay.
I know it just doesn't give me like bonus points or whatever the fuck, but I just want to tell you that I think it's Hakeem Olajuwon.
It is Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh my god, I swear.
I, I had Tim Duncan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as other
Kareem would be
intangibles.
my second pick.
I had those two as other options.
I wouldn't even think Tim Duncan, but that's a good pick, honestly. Tim Duncan.
All right, I got a little tricky question I wanted to go with one for you. So we obviously know LeBron is first in all-time points, and Kareem is right behind him. But who is third in all-time points?
Oh, I know that one. It's the former number 2.
Oh wait, hold on. Do you want me to list the answers? I'm sorry. Unless
Oh
you just want
no,
to try to guess again.
I know exactly who it is. It's Karl Malone.
Yeah. Okay. I had Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant as well as other options.
Yep, Karl Malone was former number 2. I always remember just seeing his name on the list, and also we all know Karl Malone for also not being number 3 in scoring.
The Giddy master, you know.
Yeah, Giddy's mentor.
Okay, so at number 3, the youngest player to ever play. So was it LeBron James? Was it Tracy McGrady? Or was it Andrew Bynum?
I think T-Mac and LeBron were both drafted at a high school. I want to. I know LeBron has a lot of records for the youngest player, and that he seems like the answer. But I want to go T-Mac here, Team McGrady.
Ooh, you got your first one wrong here. It's actually Andrew Bynum.
His Bynum.
He played 6 days after his 18th birthday.
What? Wow, that's fucking nuts.
Also, when you look up youngest player in NBA history, Josh Giddey is right there in the pictures. So how young is he?
He's like, he got drafted when he was like 19 because you have to play a year of college now, or you have to to be a year in the pros in another country and get drafted from there.
Josh Giddey is 21. I just had to make sure his age before I said anything about him.
Yeah, I was about to say he's in his 20s now.
No, age matters. This next question, Caleb told me he knew the answer to already. It was going to be who is the all-time leader in assists, which he already knew the answer to, which is John Stockton. So I wanted to see how much he knew about John Stockton. So Caleb, for question number 4, what is John Stockton's draft position? I have 3 options here. Was he the 3rd overall pick? Was he the 14th overall pick? Or was he the 16th overall pick? And bonus points, I guess, if you know what team he went to. Probably do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got drafted by the Jazz.
He did.
Yeah, I think he was a Jazz lifer, if I'm not mistaken. But
I wouldn't know. You know me, I'm casual.
Shit. That's tough. I don't think it was 3rd. I'm stuck between 14th and 16th. For some reason, I'm gonna go 16th here.
That is correct. You're 3 for 4 so far.
All right. That was
all right.
Tough.
This next one, I don't know how tough it'll be for you, but it's a harder question because it's not really a question. It's more like I need you to list some things for me. So I just wanted to see if you can tell me all the 10 teams with no rings.
All 10 teams. We used to be one of them. Nuggets used to be one of them. We got one now, so we ain't one of them no more. Let's see. The Clippers off the top of my head. That's easy.
Yeah.
So the Clippers, the Kings, the Suns don't have a ring.
The Kings. I thought the Kings had one.
Oh, they do. They're from forever ago. Fuck. I think.
Because what's that one picture? No, that's the Pistons thing that they meme.
Yeah, the Pistons have won plenty of rings. They've won 3.
So you got Clippers.
I got Clippers. Suns have never won a ring.
Yeah, that's 2.
So Clippers, Suns. Damn, this is tough.
I feel like
Hornets.
Your brain's just starting right now because there's a lot of them. Yeah, Hornets is one. Yep.
I knew the Hornets was going to be one of them. The Magic is one of them, sadly.
Unfortunate.
Let's see.
Go Magic.
All Texas teams have a ring. That's crazy.
I don't know if there's any Texas teams on this list.
No, there's Hornets, I
Suns,
just said all
Magic.
Texas. I know all Texas teams have a ring.
Yeah. So you have
The
four
Nets,
right
the
now.
Nets don't have a ring.
Yep, that's five. You're halfway there.
I'm halfway there. I knew the Nets don't have a ring. Let's see. Man, who don't have a ring? The Jazz don't have a ring.
Mm-hmm.
The Pelicans don't have a ring.
Mm-hmm. I think you're missing three more.
I am. So, Pelicans, the Jazz. What other teams are there, man?
Two of them are animals.
Two of them are animals. I was gonna say the Thunder, man, but I think they probably count that Sonics ring for some reason.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why not?
We count our St. Louis Rams ring.
Grizzlies.
Yep, that's one. We got two more.
The Pacers.
Yep.
I got one more. And he said it's
You
an
got one
animal
more.
team.
And yeah, I think you hate them actually.
I hate them.
I think you do.
I hate the Blazers, but the Blazers have one or two. I think one.
It's not the Blazers.
Shit. Is it East or West?
You know I don't know the answer to that question.
That's true. You don't know the conferences.
I think it's your conference. Yeah, your conference.
It's a Western Conference team?
I think so.
Damn. Can you give me some hint about them? Because I'm drawing a blank.
That's one of the animal ones. You're still missing an animal.
I know the animal. I'm thinking of an animal.
I don't know any way to hint.
The Grizzlies is the only other animal I could think of, but I think I listed them.
Do you give up?
I won?
You're gonna feel bad about it. I think I my you hate them clue might have been wrong. I don't know.
It might be.
I don't think it is though. It's the Timberwolves.
Oh shit! I forgot about them. I forgot they existed. I do hate
you
the
hated them.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, you don't like how they reacted to that. Like, what was it, the play-in that they gave you a hard time in or something like that, or the
No,
first
they
round?
didn't even give us a hard time. They fucking acted like their play-in, what they got with Patrick Beverly when they got the 8 seed. They acted like it was better than our ring. They said it was better than our ring, that it meant more than our finals ring. Like, go suck a dick. They just act. And then we beat them in the playoffs. We beat them in the first round. They didn't even give us a hard time. Like, fuck y'all. And then now they're the 1 seed after fucking years of being like mediocre, like either 8 to 10 seed or 11 seed. Like always, the only reason they made the playoffs, like they made the playoffs 2 times in the last like 20 something years, and one of those times is because Jimmy Butler. Now they're gonna do it this year. I don't know what they've been doing this year, honestly. They're the 1 seed, but it's a fluke of a 1 seed, honestly. Like the top 3 seeds, the Wolves, Thunder, and Clippers, bro. I think the Clippers just surpassed us not too long ago. Because we were like 2 or 3, and then Thunder beat us last night, so I think they're top 3 now. But those top 3 teams are all frauds or young teams. We're going to go back to the finals. We're going back to the finals. Nuggets to the finals again.
But yeah, I'll give you 3 for 5 on that because you didn't get the Timberwolves. I hinted as well as I could have.
I got 9 out of 10.
You did great. This next one might be a little harder to answer too. Number 6, I want to know Manute Bol's career longevity. How many seasons did Manute Bol play?
How many seasons did Manute Bol play?
I'll give you a hint. It's double digits.
Shit, that's tough, man. That's really tough. Manute Bol. Oh, he played double digit season. 11?
I'll give you 3 guesses. No, not 11.
13?
No.
More or less?
Less.
12?
No, he had 10 seasons.
Fuck.
Big man was
exactly 10.
Yep.
The man who fucking marked how old he was by making scars on his head with a rock.
Poor guy. Poor dude.
Do you know that's what he did?
I think you told me that a long time ago. That's sad. Similar question up next. This one should be easier though. How many seasons did Shaq play?
Shaq. Oh,
it's also double digits.
I know it's double digits. Oh Lord. So he played from. He got drafted in 90. 92, and he retired in 2011. So 19 years.
Oh my gosh! There you go. Ding ding. Hell yeah.
I
So
just
what are
know
you
the
like?
draft year and the last year he played. That helped me.
There you go. That was hey. It wins a win there. So you got like I think you're 3 for 6 or 4 for 6 or I don't know. I'll count it up at the end again. Number 8 is a true or false question. Uh, Giannis has 10 NBA All Star selections. True or false?
10? That's false.
Correct. Bonus points if you can tell me how many it is.
Let's see. He was drafted 2013. He didn't really get good till 2017, but he won Most Improved Player. I don't know if he made the All-Star game that season. It might have been 2018, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. If you don't include this season, it's 6 or 7.
He has 8.
Okay, it might be including this season. I was about to say, if it's this including this season, it's 7 or 8.
I don't know. I just looked at the first thing Google told me. I was like, okay, that's a good question. So number
I don't
9.
think the All-Stars have been named, but he's definitely an All-Star. Actually, I think the starters have been.
Hell yeah, good for Giannis. Another true or false one. True or false? Kawhi averages 19.9 points per game all time.
All time, I think that is true.
Yes, that is true. I probably made that too obvious.
I don't know. I was thinking it could be less, but then I was like, I don't know. Because he doesn't really score high 20s very often, but he doesn't really score below 20 often, and if he does, it's like 18 or 19 or 17.
All right. Well, we can forget about all the other questions if you want for this last one. This one can be for all the marbles here.
Do it.
So, true or true? Bol Bol is better than Wembanyama. He's just lazy.
Okay, Shaq, false.
You lose the whole thing.
I'm down with that, with losing it.
Have you watched Bol Bol play when he gets the ball?
Yep.
He does everything Wemby can. He's not. Shaq's not wrong. Shaq, if you want to question anybody about some big man stuff, it's not Shaq.
I'm not gonna disagree with Shaq. Well, I mean, I am disagreeing with Shaq. I'm disagreeing with Shaq right now, but I'm not gonna question his expertise on the matter. He's a fucking professional NBA player, or a former one, so he still knows. He knows more than I do, but I don't think he's correct on this.
Man, I do, but good for Wemby, I guess. He's fun to watch play.
If it's true, then maybe Bol Bol should get in the gym, and we'll see how he is.
All right, moving on. You know me, every week I've had a little update on the Connor Bedard status. Not much news on the injury status. Last we heard it was about 6 weeks or more until he'll be back on the ice. But he has actually been named to the 2024 NHL All-Star Game,
making him the youngest.
Making him the youngest at 18 years old to ever make the All-Star selection game.
Well,
as in the NHL.
His LeBron of hockey potential, so far, he has been living up to it, other than the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, what else? What can you do though? You can put a fucking.
Will he surpass Connor McDavid? Connor McDavid is a fucking monster,
dude. Connor Bedard does like Patrick Mahomes ass shit when he's.
Why the fuck is all the good hockey players named Connor?
White people are better at it apparently. And they like that name. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Happy for Connor there. Moving on, you know, we got a couple more things before we're done here, but everybody's favorite segment is coming up here. Caleb, if you'd like to take it away, I think it's your time.
Caleb's Corner. It is time for my corner. And we don't have, in Caleb's Corner today, we don't have that much to talk about for real. I actually had some hard times thinking about some topics to talk about. Usually I don't, but this week I did, so I don't have much to go over. But people are still on the Jokic versus Embiid debate, a debate that's been going on for about 2 years now. Of course, as a Nuggets fan, I've been Team Jokic, and I think the MVP was stolen from him last year. I think Jokic should have 3 MVPs, but we're cool with that because he has the better MVP, the Finals MVP, so that's fine with me. and Embiid sat out against the Nuggets, and people have started saying now after he sat out against us, people are like, oh, it's because to win personal awards, you can't miss this many games now, so he's forcing himself to play through injury, and he just couldn't. Like, maybe that's true, but yeah, sit against one of the best players in the league against. It's always funny. Those guys never play each other. Embiid never plays against Jokic. Jokic never plays against Embiid. Jokic is either hurt or Embiid is either hurt every time. It's ridiculous. It's weird. We have not seen many head-to-head matchups against them. So it's really still a speculation. Jokic versus Embiid. I'm going Team Jokic. Playing my guy. I like Embiid too. But next I just wanted to talk about the Cowboys and just elaborate more on our firing. Well, we didn't really fire him, but Dan Quinn kind of just got hired elsewhere. I don't know if we would have fired him. We probably wouldn't have, knowing Jerry Jones. He wasn't really bad, but I feel like his defense was getting stale, and I feel like people were starting to read it more and more often, so I think we needed to move on from him. I'm kind of glad we moved on from him, but it's kind of a shock where he went. One of the top candidates.
The only place left.
One of the top candidates to replace him is Al Harris, our DB coach. I'd be fine with that because our DBs is actually one of the bright spots of our defense this year. Was that probably the brightest spot despite Trayvon Diggs' injury? So I'd be down to see what he has in control of the entire defense and whatnot and the play calling. I'd like to see what Al Harris has there. But there are a couple of other guys we could hire as a defensive coordinator. Like, I have no idea if Bill Belichick would be down. He probably wouldn't. He probably is just waiting next year, which I know he is. But, man, it's hard to have hope in this team.
That could totally happen. Like,
I don't think it will.
Year, then Belichick comes in. Why would he? Yeah, he's only going to come to the Eagles or the Cowboys at this point, or some roster like that.
He ain't going to the Cowboys. He's going to a place where someone will give him control. Jerry Jones ain't going to give him no control.
That makes sense. I keep forgetting about Jerry and David Tepper. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to remember.
Oh yeah. So Stephon Gilmore is on. He has one year left with y'all. So this next year he's going to be with y'all. And you're talking about your DB coach. I just reminded me of something. I was like, what's going to happen with DeRon Bland if Gilmore's back and Diggs is back? Are they just not going to play him, or what are you going to do? What's your new DC going to do with DeRon Bland? How do you think they're going to go about that?
I don't know. I mean, we might start him. We could start him. I think maybe we could get rid of Gilmore, even though he isn't really that big of a contract. We could re-sign Gilmore, honestly, if he's down.
He has 1 year left with you.
Oh, he does?
2 year.
Oh, yeah, I'd still promote DeRon Bland to a starter. I'd start him and Diggs.
Oh, so you wouldn't have Gilmore as a starter?
Man, I don't know. I'd probably just put. Man, it's tough. I'd put one of them as a slot corner. Whoever the best at coverage is as a slot corner.
That would probably be Bland because it's not like a super important. That's not like the main coverage.
It is for some teams. Some teams rely on their slot corners, or not slot corners, slot receivers.
Anyway, you talking about the DBs just made me think about that. I want to hear your opinion. You can keep going.
Yeah, I guess Joe Witt Jr. He's the defensive pass game coordinator for us, and he's our secondary coach, but apparently it's expected he's going to just go follow Dan Quinn to be the DC in Washington, so it's either that, or if we want to use the same scheme, we could get our defensive line coach, Aiden Durd. Yeah, so pretty much it seems like we're just hiring internal candidates. It doesn't really seem like we're looking outside. Except for Ron Rivera and Brandon Staley.
One of them will be a Ram, I'm just saying.
Probably Staley. Staley's probably going to be a Ram. Ron Rivera could switch up and be on us. The old switcheroo from Cowboys to Redskins.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious. Little flipperoo this year. That's what just happened. Yeah, a little flipperoo of both guys.
That'd be great.
Our DC becomes their head coach. Their head coach becomes our DC. I
and then
think
y'all
Ron
play the
Rivera is better as
Commanders.
a defensive coordinator, though, so I would not be mad at that hire at all. But I'm kind of more leaning on Al Harris.
If y'all play the Commanders, and then like you allow 0 points to the Commanders, but they blow y'all put up like 40 on them, like that one game 2 years ago on like Thanksgiving. Yeah, just I bet you it'll look bad when that game happens. To be honest, but
Dude, we'll fuck them up like we always do. But I also wanted to talk more about the off season. Apparently, Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones said we're going all in. I don't know what going all in is, Jerry. Jerry, if you were going all in, you'd fire Mike McCarthy and stop hiring yes men head coaches, and you'd give a coach control
I
of the
like it.
team and everything, bro. Not everything. It doesn't even have to be everything. Just give him control of the team. Like most
I
coaches
like to
just
hear
want.
that.
Give him the coach success. Go ahead, go all in. We've been trying to go. You've been saying let's go all in for fucking 5 billion years at this point, Jerry. So let's see it.
Nobody
Let's
is
see what this all in is, or what are we gonna do? Are we gonna get Stephon Diggs? Are we gonna make some trades? Are we gonna get some guys in the draft, free agent signings? What are we gonna do, Jerry? We're gonna get a running back finally. Let's see what we do. We're gonna get a receiver. Let's see. I don't know.
Y'all
I
should
think
do
we
what we
draft.
did.
I think we draft receiver before running back. Honestly.
Y'all should do what we did and just sell your fucking first rounders. Like trade Dak and 2 firsts. Go get someone crazy.
I think we
Go
might.
get
I
Josh
think we
Allen.
might make a play for Derrick Henry, and then
Make a play for
or
Josh
maybe try
Allen.
and try for. We're gonna try for Stephon Diggs or Derrick Henry, I bet. Then we're gonna try and draft whichever one we don't get, the wide receiver or the running back. That's what's gonna fucking happen.
But like this is like a Rams situation. Like
But
I mean,
we're
y'all
gonna
aren't
just
making
go
the Super
12 and
Bowl.
5 again next year and lose in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
But imagine like, what if Lamar Jackson gets really fucking pissed off in the offseason for some reason? Like John Harbaugh just like messes with him all offseason about taking money off his contract, and then y'all trade. Lamar wants out. Y'all trade 2 first rounders and Dak to the Ravens, and you get the upgrade at quarterback even further than you had, like we did with Goff and Stafford. And then you go to a Super Bowl or something like Lamar on the Cowboys.
I don't think we're getting rid of Dak.
That's going all in. That's what going all in is right there.
Getting rid
That's
of
what we did.
Dak is going all in.
Getting rid of Dak, going all in with
Jerry
first
Jones
rounders
stepping
up or
down
even
as
further.
GM, hiring a new GM, and hiring a head coach that isn't a yes man is going all in.
That's
That we
not
can
gonna
succeed with
happen,
Dak.
man.
We could have succeeded with Tony Romo.
We could have succeeded with
It's
Goff, but
all
we
of
didn't.
Jerry Jones' fault.
I'm just saying, that's what
everything
going all
he's
in.
tried after Jimmy Johnson has failed, except for that 1 year with Barry Switzer. But he had the same team Jimmy Johnson had, so it's not really that much of a surprise. And what happened the year before that? What happened his first year? We were down 27-0 to the Niners in the NFC Championship game in '94, and the Niners went on to win that Super Bowl. I bet if Jimmy Johnson was our head coach, we win that Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl we also won with Barry Switzer. We would have won 4 in a row. But no, Jerry just has to fucking fuck everything up and have everything about him. He's happy. He's content. He's making most money of anybody. His team is more successful than any team, even without the rings. Like, just monetary-wise and everything, he's fine. He doesn't care. He's fine right now with the team. Anyone who tries to change the culture of the team gets kicked out or fired. So, I'm done. Like, this team is, like, regardless of what happens, it's over until Jerry Jones does something about himself.
Man, that was heated.
That was, but yeah, we ain't gonna do shit. And then the last thing, well, not the last thing, but one of the last things I wanted to talk about in my corner was Michigan and Chargers. They have some moves and hires that are pretty much interconnected and interlocked. Same thing with the Chargers just hiring the Ravens director of like player something. I forgot the official title, but he just got hired as their GM. So they got their Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch little team up there, where fucking the coach will tell the GM some stuff, and the GM will actually listen, because that's Harbaugh to Harbaugh. And then he's bringing Jesse Benner from Michigan to the Chargers, which is really cool. I guess good for Jesse. he can really thrive there. I think our defense this year and last year proves that. Even though it is an NCAA, I think he will prove it next year. Chargers defense will get better. They haven't hired an offensive coordinator yet, but it's speculated to be Greg Roman. As much as people hate that and hate that pick and hate his play calling, I don't know. I think they could do something with it just because Harbaugh's do stuff with Greg Roman somehow, and they have. I think the Chargers have more weapons than the Ravens, so I think they'll thrive some more. I think they'll get some more. I think they'll increase their running back room. They'll sign some more running backs and whatnot. They might even make a move for Derrick Henry. But talk about Michigan. We have basically promoted our offensive coordinator to head coach. He played for Oklahoma, but he was signed to Michigan relatively, not too long ago. Michigan has promoted Sharon Moore, our offensive coordinator, to be our head coach, which is very exciting because as a head coach this year, he is 4-0, and he's just a hype-up guy. He's really good. The players love him. Our transfer portal is open since Jim Harbaugh left, and I don't think none of our players have went to the transfer portal yet in this 30-day window that they have. So, Sharon Moore is probably working his ass off right now. I think he's going to be great for recruiting. I think we keep the same thing going. I mean, he might have a little bit of differences, but it was his offense, remember, this year that scored over 30 points a game. It sucks that Jesse Minder is leaving, but we do have Clink Scale, who is the co-defensive coordinator, who could run the same scheme as him. We're still going to be running the same scheme of defense, I'd imagine. And there's also some other speculations, but I really think we're hiring from inside, because that's all we've done this year. Our strength and conditioning coach, I'm pretty sure, left to go be the Chargers strength and conditioning coach or some shit, which sucks. But it's whatever, because we just hired from inside. We hired we hired their the assistant, So I think we're just hiring from inside, really, and I think why not? We won a championship with dudes on that staff, so hire them, promote them, see what they got at the next level, and if it doesn't work out, then we can move off of them, But as for right now, let's see what they got. I mean, let's keep it going. Let's keep the championship theme going, man. Let's win more championships. I think that's the theme of our university, and that's the mentality that we have right now. We don't care about all the bullshit and people saying we're going to go back just because Harbaugh left and Harbaugh's leaving, he's taking everyone, and the program is going to go back to ruin. I think that's bullshit. I think we're going to be fine, and I'm very excited for the future, and I wish Harbaugh the best of luck on the Chargers. I think the Chargers have a bright future, and I think Michigan also has a bright future as well. And on the last thing of my corner, we're just going to talk about some of my betting picks. I've had a hot streak. The last 3 days I've won over $80 each day. It's insane. And past weekend, I've won over 200. It was crazy. So I don't have any NBA picks because obviously the episode will not be out until the NBA games are done. It sucks. I really wish they did future NBA parlays so I could share some NBA parlays with y'all, but that's something I have to do live or post on Instagram or something. If you go check out our Instagram, I'll post sometimes some NBA parlays because I can't do that on the podcast just because they only let me bet on the games for today and the podcast comes out days later. So we'll just go on to NFL. I have 2 Super Bowl bets as of right now. I have a $25 bet on a 4-man parlay. This is going to pay out $175 if they all hit. Patrick Mahomes, this is a discounted prize picks one, more than half of a passing yard. So Mahomes more than half a passing yard. Kyle Juszczyk, San Francisco's fullback, more than half of a fantasy point. Isaiah Pacheco, more than half of rush plus receiving touchdown. And McCaffrey, half of rush plus receiving touchdown. And That pays out 175 if you bet 25. And then the other Super Bowl bet I have, which is the last one. I'm sorry I only have 2, but I'll have some more next week for sure when more odds and stuff come out and they're updated. But for this is another 4-man pick, $15 to pay out $67.50 if it all hits. Patrick Mahomes more than 1.5 passing touchdown. Noah Gray more than half a receiving yard. Christian McCaffrey more than half a rushing plus receiving touchdown. And then Jair Brown, the strong safety for San Francisco, less than 6 tackles and assists. And that is it for Caleb's Corner.
Hell yeah, that was a great Caleb Corner. You know, the Chargers like stripping Michigan is hilarious to me. But with that being wrapped up, I wanted to move on to our final 2 things here. Number 1 for me was just a quick little call out here. This motherfucker named Joel Moran on the Pick a Side podcast, man, in his own show. He was recently talking to his buddies about our Super Bowl versus the Bengals. And he's a Joe Burrow meat writer, right? He's kind of annoying when it comes to the Super Bowl and Joe Burrow. I don't like the Bengals to this day, even though we beat them, because of this play. In the Super Bowl, we were leading, and it was like a 1st and 10, and he throws up a go ball to T. Higgins. T. Higgins just shreds Jalen's face mask, turns his fucking neck to the left, like he falls down, and then the announcer goes, "Jalen Ramsey fell down," and it was retarded. Like it is not. And then there was no flag. Nobody really even gave a shit. Like nobody talks about this play except for one of his buddies on the podcast. Like they pulled it up and they showed the play. It's ridiculous. It's one of the worst no calls I've ever seen. But he proceeds to then say, the contact was not egregious, bro. You don't give it to them or whatever. The contact was not egregious. So I want to call him out. I don't know how much he weighs or whatever, but me and him can have a semi-friendly cage match. If he ever heard this, definitely let me fuck him up in the cage, or at least try, because I want to show him what some egregious contact does look like, because that was some bullshit. That was a bullshit statement, really. I really just felt like he said that to piss me off. I don't know who else he would have been saying that shit for. I still talk about that play to this day. To this day, I talk about that play. I fucking hate that play. Like, it was some bullshit. It was. I was so stressed out the rest of the game for no reason, because it wasn't. I mean, it was close, but it wasn't that close. I think they took the lead with that play. Like, it just sucked. So if he wants to fight in a cage match, you know, he can be 100 pounds more than me or whatever. I will do it. I don't think he trains, and I want to show him what some egregious contact really looks like. Moving on from that.
The Shenanigans of the week.
We're going to wrap it up here with the weekly shenanigan. This is a long and winded one. A very special one this episode. I might not be able to describe it as fluently as the rest of them I have been in the past, but I'll certainly try my best. So this weekend that passed, we didn't talk about it in the episode, but I watched the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for the WWE. And man, R-Truth had him a night. So early in the broadcast, there's a backstage segment. It shows him with a bunch of baseballs trying to open them. The guy's like, "Hey, why are you doing that with those baseballs?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't like my number to the Rumble, so I'm trying to get a new one because they got their numbers in a ball, I guess, but not a baseball." But anyway, he's still trying to open these baseballs. The guy's like, you keep having fun, Truth. You keep doing that. And then later on in the night, you almost forgot about that, actually. We're in the middle of the Women's Royal Rumble, and it's more than halfway through. At number 24, out comes Valhalla, a women's wrestler, looks like a Viking. She's pretty badass, but then she's halfway down the ramp, and all of a sudden it's, "Oh, hey," or whatever his music is. R-Truth's music starts playing. He comes running down the ramp. It's the Women's Rumble. He hops in the ring. He is confused. He looked at the lady on the way out. He didn't know why there was a woman there. Then he gets in there and he sees Nia Jax. He's confused. He's freaking out. We're all laughing like, "Why? What is this? Are you serious?" Another, like, R-Truth is crazy. But he gets eliminated by Nia Jax. That was like the best moment up until that point of the night. And then the Men's Rumble comes later that night. And at the same number 24, out comes R-Truth, who had previously adopted himself. So at number 24, he comes out, and as an honorary member of the Judgment Day to himself, he decides he's going to get up to the ring while Dominic Mysterio is struggling and fighting in there. And he reaches his hand out for a tag in the middle of the Royal Rumble match, which is not a feature of the Rumble match. But he's standing there waiting for Mysterio to tag his hand, and then he finally gets it. He gets in there and he assists him. But man, R-Truth just had him a night. And if there's any pictures or anything we can put up in the video, I'd love for you to see it. Him just reaching out to hold the fucking, get the tag, or him in the middle of the Women's Rumble. He just had him a night. R-Truth is truly like a genius character. And that's probably the best moment of his I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Moments. He had him the whole night.
Cause yeah, he said pictures because we got copyright strike by Dana White in the UFC in our last video for using the Shenanigans clip of the stupid fucking fuck up that their own ref did. Fuck you. It's your own fuck up. If you didn't want it shown on YouTube, maybe you shouldn't have fucking uploaded it. You fucking asshole. I didn't even get that off of his channel either. That same video I've downloaded it from is still up. Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
like, Dana White is being an asshole. So, yeah, we just can't show videos, at least not of UFC and WWE anymore, because they're owned by the same people. But it seems like NBA and NFL and all that is fair game after the game has happened and it's already up on highlights and whatnot.
And it was great. And unfortunately, yeah, they're owned by the same people, so now we can't show that. But the NFL doesn't seem to care, so maybe the NBA won't either. I don't know. We should look more into that. That's a fair thing. I should have probably guessed that and told you that would happen because he's done that before. But so that's my bad. I forgot to mention that. But
yeah.
That was
speaking of his call out. I'm calling out Dana White to a cage. No, let me stop playing.
Calling you out to an oil match, Dana.
An oil match.
Have you seen that?
I have.
Oh my goodness.
Oil me up.
He's ridiculous. He should never have acknowledged them. But
confused.
I'm all set for this week. That was quite the shenanigan there. That made my week with that. I knew it was going to be the shenanigan as soon as it happened. That was a great episode this week. How'd you feel?
Yeah, that was a great episode. I felt like this was the best episode so far. I'm probably gonna keep saying that about every episode, but I really felt like this was a good episode, jam-packed with a lot of stuff, a lot of good talk, just a lot of everything. I'm talking like a coach right now, getting in that coach mindset. I got to.
Hopefully you get some feedback. I'd love to read some comments. I've been looking. So hopefully after this week we'll get some interaction. I can do some more things maybe y'all like. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week on Shenanigans. Keep an eye out for anything goofy. If you want to send it to us, if we don't see it, we definitely we have candidates for the Shenanigans every week. And I decided eventually, I'd love to hear some feedback, maybe some plays that I don't see. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. Peace out. Links to everything in our description below, bio. You know where to find us.